Alright, team. I believe the theater is going to let out in about 5-ish minutes, so if you just don't mind standing outside the auditorium, getting all the cleaning supplies, just not disrupting the movie theater goers, thank you. Okay. Alright, guys, I know you're gonna do amazing. Okay. Alright, we'll regroup in about 15. Okay, I gotta go, guys. Thank you. Doing great. Alright, bye. Hi. Welcome to Comfort Cinemas. I'm the manager, the owner of this place, Connor. It is a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, you came at a perfect time. It's not too busy. You're more able to now soak in the energy and the vibe of the place and just take in everything that Comfort Cinema has to offer. Yeah, it's an honor to meet you. Thank you so much for choosing us. Yeah. And did you by chance have any particular movie in mind that you were thinking of watching today? Oh no, don't even worry about it. We promote and love when people come in not really knowing where they want to go or what they want to see, just taking it all in. That's partly why I created this place. I believe that there is so much that the movie theater business and brand has to offer. And just the fact that you alone are coming in just means the world to me. Thank you. But, before we get down to the movie itself, I was wondering if by chance you were thinking of purchasing some snacks or beverages. We have a wide range of candy and sodas that we are all willing to give to the customer. Yeah, of course. Just maybe pick some of my favorites if that's okay. Just start from there. Of course. Yeah, okay. Well, I have a few right over there, so I'm just gonna get one of them first. All right. Okay, so this first one is easily the most underrated candy I think to ever exist. It really offers so much and really is quite overlooked. I think so many people equate it to the ice cream, but in individual form, it is the best parts of the ice cream, and that is cookie dough bites. I love these dearly. I would die for them. It's one of the best snacks, and if you do decide to go with these, we have two different types. If you can see in the top corner of the packaging, it says try them frozen. Now, I have specifically requested our shipment driver to give us two different shipments of these, two different orders. The first one is the non-frozen, and the other is delivered in a freezer truck, which comes negative below, and it is freezing. These come with hypothermia in them, and I love it because when they're frozen, you're eating something so chilled, and when you swallow it, it's like a palate cleanser. And then when you take the beverage or soda, you really get to experience a flavor explosion. It's just fantastic. But of course, that is not to diminish the value of the non-frozen kind. I love them both. Yeah, they're so good. I remember when I was a kid, I would always, if my siblings got me upset or my parents did, I would always go into the kitchen and eat the cookie dough out of the cookie dough ice cream and then put it all back. I was a menace, to say the least, but I think that was kind of the catalyst for me to fall in love with these. Yeah. So would you be down to perhaps add that to the cart? Wonderful. Alright, so the next one on this list in continuing the chocolate train is another one of my childhood favorites, but I've grown to appreciate it more in my later years, and that would have to easily be Milk Duds. My goodness, I love these beyond belief. Now, there's a few sort of caveats to it. In order to not make it a chore for you to chew, I would very strongly advise you to just eat them individually, because the outer chocolate layer is incredible, but you get more of that refined taste when you get to the core, the caramel core, and that's when Milk Duds stands itself apart from the other competing chocolate brands. I love it so much. And when you really get to experience both of what the chocolate and the caramel has to offer, you will be taken on a journey. And I do recommend taking that time of just sucking and really enjoying all of the chocolate on the outside to get to the caramel, because it's more about the journey than the destination, but the destination is delicious. I love them. Yeah, they've certainly grown on me over the years, but I do advise to not just immediately put dozens in your mouth, because your jaw will be in so much pain. Trust me, I would know. But yeah, was this perhaps something you were also thinking of adding to the cart? Of course. Of course. You know, I'm going to take my earpiece off just because I would love to just have this one-on-one time. Don't worry. Either my staff is on break or they're cleaning the auditoriums. Yeah. And we love to keep this earpiece just because the theater itself is massive. We have upwards of 30 auditoriums. So I like to keep in constant communication with my staff and just have those lines of communication open at all times. Of course. Yeah. But I'll also add this to the list. Okay. Now taking a slight detour away from Chocolate Land, I have another one of my favorites. Now this has been something that I have found a deep appreciation for in my more recent years, and that is the Sour Patch Kids watermelon specifically. Nothing against the original, but I do find a lot more to be had in the watermelon itself. Partial bias, I do love watermelon, the fruit, but this is on another level, and don't be worried. It is not overpowering in the sour department. Like I like to compare sour Skittles. I love Skittles, but sour Skittles, it turns more into a challenge to finish them. You put so many in your mouth and it's like your taste buds are shot. They're gone. So, excuse me. I just find that the sour does not overpower whatsoever. There's a great tandemonious marriage from the sweet and the sour. And the watermelon tinge is just the garnish on top. Yeah, it's so good. I love it. And, you know, we do have a wide variety of slushies, which I've always recommended our, customers, theater goers, you guys, to try. That mixture is muy bien. Add it to the cart? Of course, of course. Okay. So this final one is my favorite. Absolute all-timer for me. I think of the movie theater experience. I think of so much, but this, as the choice of consumption, is at the top. And that would be peanut M&Ms. And your eyes are not fooling you. This is the jumbo bag. I believe it says family size. Don't feel ashamed if it's just you. I mean, you got a whole family of an appetite. And I love these. I love these so much. I on paper, and I always am confounded by it. Chocolate and peanuts, but man, they work. They work shockingly well. And I think they are just terrific. They really have that crunch that I just don't find any of the other candies to have, hence why I kind of put it in the roster. And that crunch with that slight, ever so slight, like breadcrumb of saltiness with the sweet, decadent chocolate is just glorious. I love this candy so much, and no matter what they do to please my love for cookie dough or watermelon or caramel, I just think this will always be at the top. And the packaging, just hear that. I love it. I love it. Just hearing all of those chocolate, peanuts, delicious circles in this bag is just making my stomach growl. Yeah, I'll for sure add it to the list. You can't go wrong with the Old Faithful. Okay, so we have a really nice variety of sweet treats, but I think now it's time for the beautiful secondary, which is the beverage. yeah, like I did say, we do have a wide variety of slushies. We have a Coca-Cola slushie, we have a cherry, a icy freeze, we have blue raspberry, and then in terms of the sodas, we have Sprite canned. This is also chilled. We love to really give the customer the greatest maximized fulfillment within their drink of choice. And there's something about when a beverage is chilled, we love to keep them in a perfectly calculated temperatured freezer you can walk into and just pick it up. And we serve it in a glass, or you can take it as it is. But again, we just really like to not, overpower the candy, or vice versa, the candy overpower the beverage. We have really thought about this through methodical science as to what would be best for the customer. So maybe add it to the cart as well. Of course. And finally, the classic of classics, the one that just stands above the else in a pedigree of its own. Coca-Cola. Gosh, there's a reason why this is the top. So good. I love just the little sound that the can makes. So good. But of course, you can add this to the list. Don't even worry about it. No, this is your time. This is your experience, your immersion, your escape. When in Rome. Okay, perfect. So we have the snack, we have the beverage, and now what about the viewing choice? We have 5 different types of theaters. We have the standard, which is just the regular screen and the chairs, but it's still great. We have reclining seats, and they also have warmers included. I know. It was a pretty penny to pay for, but I think you will definitely see that on full display as to why I did what I did for that. And those screens and the size of the theaters range depending upon the relevancy and the release date of the movie. If it's a bigger movie that just came out, it is going to be in a bigger auditorium. So those are standard. Next, we have Screen X, which is one of our newer line of theaters on auditoriums, which is 3 different screens. You have the one in front of you and you have 2 on the side. If you do decide to choose that and you perhaps are a bit motion sick, I wouldn't necessarily advise it, but if you do and you want to take the risk, I would recommend sitting in the back so you get to see everything, the broad scope of it all. And it's not the entire movie. It is just the major action sequences that were formatted for that. But of course, if you do decide to embark on that choice, then by all means, but we also offer a full refund. But I do have a little surprise for you at the very end. So once I'm done listing them out and we pick a movie, I'll let you know about that. Next, we have the RPX, which is a bit of our older style, but it's still fantastic. It's a bit above the standard. Again, it does come with reclining heating seats, and it is the largest auditorium in terms of seats itself. That is really for crowd-pleasing movies, the ones that are the massive blockbusters, superhero tentpole films. But I would recommend that, if you're really trying to experience a massive theater. And then next we have our IMAX, my personal favorite. It is the grandest screen you will ever see a movie on, and a lot of times you will see trailers for films and the films itself say that scenes were formatted for IMAX cameras, and IMAX cameras are one of the more expensive state-of-the-art line of cameras used to make movies. But what it means is you get to see the bigger scope on the best picture possible. But in regular standard RPX theaters that we do have, you won't be able to get the entire format screen. You'll be getting slightly the top and the bottom cut off. It's great. The sound system is immaculate. Okay, and then finally, the newest one, saving the best for last in terms of the state-of-the-art technology included, is our 4DX. That is a trip in and of itself. This is something that you would be relegated towards at an amusement park. But this we've been able to really usher into our own. It is an interactive movable experience. The seats move, there's water, there's smoke, there's a mist sometimes, water sprays at you. It really is calculated to the beats and the movements that go on within the film itself, really to give you a one-of-a-kind experience. Yeah, and as I did say, I was going to leave a little surprise. This is all on the house. This is your first time here. We really just want to invoke into the customer and impart to them that you are family. You are a part of this company, and you have helped us tremendously just by stepping into this experience, as I would like to call it. So it's on us. The candy, the beverage, in whatever format that you desire to see, whatever movie you choose. Of course, we just hope that you will understand the little intricacies that we've put into this experience. Of course. Now that movie, what were you thinking? Wonderful, wonderful choice. Easily one of my favorites of the year so far. But okay, I will type that up. Perfect, and I will get your ticket. Perfect. Alrighty. It's gonna be that ticket for you. You got it, I'll just leave that right there. Alright. So, now, if you don't mind just following me, I will direct you to the seats. Alrighty. Perfect. And if I may just take a quick moment before we get into the auditorium itself, just pay attention to a couple little details. If you look at the lighting, there's neon strips throughout the entire theater, as well as lighting itself being very warm. That's what we try to do, is really just convey that sense of warmth and comfort throughout all inches of this auditorium and the theaters itself, whether it be the movie that you're going to watch and the auditorium that you see it, or the lead up to it. We just try to really elicit the biggest sense of comfort possible. And like I said, we want it to be an extension of that comforting headspace in your mind articulated into the theater. And so many, I feel, fall victim to not realizing that you are basically stepping into an escape within the movie that you're trying to see. But why not make another escape, a multi-layer Inception escape, if you will, where it's an escape within an escape? We want you to escape from the moment you step through our doors, not just for the movie, but the experience. So within the lighting, the atmosphere, the aroma, and the energy, that's what we've tried to do. So sorry, I won't distract. We still have a few more minutes before the movie starts, but I understand you want to get there for the previews. Trust me, I'm there with you. So we'll get to that auditorium.